Good morning, people. Day 2 of Kangaroo Island. Going to the caves now. So let's see how this goes.
Thank you.
Basically what we see, for the most part, the same as just about every cave. So and what we're standing in is limestone, as the same rock. Because of the mineral we have the same process, we'll have the stalactites, the stalagmites, everything for the cave. The difference with what we will see is the age. Normally limestone, hundreds of millions of years old, very hard rock, big slow caves. What we're looking at, we think, maybe 2 million years old sand dunes. So this is fairly young, soft beach sand that glued itself together a bit, sort of rock.
So these are limestone rocks?
It's still limestone rock. It's still the same calcium carbonate sort of, shell, coral, whatever sort of mineral. But instead of forming sitting on the seabed, they think during an ice age a couple of million years ago the sea levels dropped. Yeah. Seabed south of the island in the open. And they think the southwesterly winds just thrown all this sand up into these big dunes and the rainwater glued it together to form a rock. So the mineral's the same, it's just only sort of loosely cemented instead of being that hot, hard old rock that's squat. And because it's the softer rock, everything is left in the cave. Still just some water dripping. A lot of what we see probably 30 years ago the water stopped. Every day, yep.
It's very cold.
And nice in the winter too, because it's so nice.
I think I found that did it. No, kidding. Oh.
Fred Kelsey gets the credit. But it would have been 1885-ish. Working for Karata Station. Shortcut over the top of the hill here one day on a horse looking for sheep, and just went straight through a thick patch of trees and down a hole. Or at least that's what he told everybody. By the time he's gone back to Karata to get help, so that's going to be about 7-8 kilometres walk home to find someone to help him. Come back with a rope and whatever, trying to get his horse back. They couldn't find it again. And, what are we, 130 years later, we're still no closer to finding it.
Really?
I think that was where the name came from, supposedly. They think, look, Kelly was a horse. And that's where it became Kelly's Hill in about 1885.
So from a missing horse.
Yep. And then after that, I think about 40 years later, so the end of 1925, you get a group of 5 or 6 locals in around Kingscote, decide something to amuse themselves. They drive out this end of the island, park down the base of the hill there somewhere, and just walk up here, stumbling around in the scrub until they found a hole, climb in, and they start crawling through and exploring this by candlelight in the 20s.
So did he fall down this one?
No idea.
Oh.
Till we mapped all the cave and come up empty-handed, or until we find the right sort of looking hole with a pile of bones and a saddle at the bottom, we've got no idea which one he went into. This is just the first bit they found. At this point we've still got who knows how much cave. That one I reckon match up probably there on the floor, even that one missing a bit at the bottom. Just everything moving. That's what you'd see of the cave at the time.
Oh.
Not much.
Not the same.
Thank goodness for not.
If you didn't know any better, I mean, for one candle, that's the eyes get used to it. We start to see a little bit of the cave.
They do, yeah.
If we didn't know any better, this was all right at the time.
Half a dozen other candles, I suppose.
Well, that was the other thing. They would have been 5 or 6 or 8 people. So I mean, if we all have one candle each and go a different direction, we get more light through.
You wouldn't be able to see that big hole back there, though.
No. And that's the problem. In the 1920s, it would have still been wet as well. So all this formation, you can have the water running, going to make everything reflect a lot better in the light as well. A little flicker in the candle flame as you're walking, everything's going to sort of reflect and sparkle and be nice. There's a problem, you stand here with a candle, you're right.
What if it goes out, though?
Well, even before it goes out, we stand here with a candle. And you've got to find a hole in the wall over there to get home. Unless you knew where you're going, it wasn't easy.
Not easy.
So to make sure they could find their way, they tried using the candle. They would burn arrows on the roof to point the way home. Problem is, something burnt on the roof with a candle looks like every other crack and shadow and mark on the roof, so that's no good. And eventually somebody ends up missing an arrow and spends about 4 hours lost on his own.
In the darkness.
To start with, he had the candle.
Yeah.
So all he can do is realise he's lost. We'll have to sit and wait. So maybe
That's
the first hour you're sitting there, you watch as the candle is slowly getting smaller, gives you something to pass the time until the candle's gone.
That's nightmare-like.
Once the candle goes out, he's then another 3 hours in the cave by himself. That's what he can see.
Oh.
And he's not really enjoying it anymore.
Nope.
And by the time they find him 4 hours later, he thinks he's been there all night and they've come back the next morning to find him. At this point, they get out of the cave, they pack everything up, they're back to Kingscote. Took 3 months before they decide to try again.
Yeah.
And when they finally decide they'll be
So
back
this
to
is
the
a
cave.
true story,
Yeah.
a true story.
And when they got back the next trip, they went down the ladder, straight through here. And as they're coming back through on the first trip, they had a candle crawling along, and they're dragging a length of fencing wire along behind them. And they tie one end to the cave, they tie one end to the ladder, you follow a line in.
Yeah.
We know we follow home. We know candle goes out. We can follow the wire, hoping we'll get ourselves out.
Amazing.
And that became the tour in 1926, was basically to crawl into the cave and back out of the cave following a piece of wire with a candle.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
Climb up.
Everyone looks out.
Yeah, I know. They are remarkable.
This is awesome. Yeah? Okay. Look at the seal. That's decent. Hang on. There's one right there as well. Very cool. Stinks here. Huh?
This is when you want a good camera.
I was in trouble. It's flies, man.
You get any?
Huh? Oh, damn.
Oh dear. She's not behaving. She just wants a rest.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, she's saying. Give me a rest.
Look at him going in the water.
How do you know what you're taking? You don't.
No.
Can you zoom it?
No. Look at him fighting. Oh, no, he doesn't. He doesn't want to fight.
He's the king, so he's
Oh.
the big bull, and he's a male, and you'll fight.
Yeah.
There's his cat. They're his girls.
Yeah.
He's a juvenile, and he's the big one, the big king.
Okay. He just wants friends. because I used to hate doing it there because I'd press it, never sure if I'd press it and take like 7 pictures. Well, I hope you like that. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. That was pretty fun actually. I like that, I enjoyed it. Now off to see the seals or whatever now. Alright, see you guys.